Hello, everyone, and we are live. Thank you, everyone who is tuning in for a special trivia game to celebrate the Columbus Cartoon Coalition's newest anthology that we are currently crowdfunding for called Hidden Histories. It is a collection of nonfiction comics that are about a variety of topics focused on a lot of Columbus and Ohio history, also focused on comics and making comics and things like that. So, especially if you're a local and you'd be interested in learning some local history, I think you'll like it. But even if you're just a general comic fan, like I said, there are some stories in there that have to do with making comics and being an artist. So, I think you'll enjoy those as well. And you can see in the banner down below some of the information about that. And I will also go ahead and post the link in the comments. So our crowdfunder link is in the comics. My name is AJ. I am the live stream coordinator for the Columbus Cartoon Coalition, and I will be your trivia host for today. And I have 3 of our C3 members who are also featured in the anthology who are going to be playing this trivia game with us. So I'd like them to be able to go around and introduce themselves. We're going to start with Leaf.
Hey guys, I'm Leaf. I've been making comics for 2 or 3 years now, seriously. I wrote the comic Get Strong Hands for the anthology, which is about how to build strength and mobility in your hands and wrists to prevent injuries for specifically targeted towards artists, but anybody who works in an office or any other person who's spending a lot of time doing repetitive motions with their hands could definitely benefit from that comic.
Yeah, awesome. I'm really excited for people to you're able to read your comic. I think that's a really important topic. I think, we don't focus nearly enough on hand health, but definitely important. How about Ari? Would you like to go next?
Hi, my name is Ari. My pronouns are he, him, which I forgot to put in the banner. Whoopsie daisy. I've been making comics seriously for about I think 2 years too. My comic for the anthology is Ohio Was Once an Ocean, which is about the paleontological natural history of Ohio, like a couple million years before we get dinosaurs.
Nice. Fascinating. Yeah, that's not an area in history I feel like many people would know about, so that's cool.
And Ohio doesn't have any dinosaur fossils, so it's great.
Awesome. And last but not least, we have Emily.
Hello. Yes, I'm Emily. My pronouns are vers. I have been making comics seriously, I guess, for about a year now. I made the comic Native Peoples of Ohio, which is about like Native Americans that live in what we are the state that we currently call Ohio.
Yeah, awesome. Very fascinating. And so we'll be playing a trivia game today. I have put all of the trivia questions that we created into a Kahoot. So if you've ever played a Kahoot game before, that's the format we'll be following. And so if anybody is watching this from home, you'll actually be able to join the Kahoot game from home. And our 3 members here will also be playing along with us. Some of you should know the answers to these questions because they're actually based on your comics. So if anybody is wondering, why are we doing this trivia game to promote our anthology? Well, all of the questions in this trivia game and the fun facts and knowledge in this trivia game are based on the comics that our creators wrote it for the anthology. So if there is something in this game that interests you, but you don't know the answer to the question, if you read the anthology later, you'll find out. You'll learn more about that subject. So, with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll be able to get started. Just give me one moment to get this pulled up. All right.
Okay.
So go to kahoot.it, join the game, and enter this game pin. I'm going to give it a few minutes.
You can choose your avatar, and they're all
What?
like animals.
What am I
Oh, and
supposed to do
monsters?
here? I have no idea what the face of the thing I am is supposed to be. Is that like an owl?
Oh my gosh, the #1 C3 fan has joined us. Can you
I'm gonna be
believe
a
it?
moose. Moose are terrifying.
All right, I'm going to leave this on the screen just for like another minute. So if we do have anybody joining late, they can still see it.
Oh, #1 C3 fan is also a moose and has lovely little hearts.
Very cute. I love seeing all the characters that people choose. This should be a fairly quick game because it is 23 questions. I believe there's like a 20-second timer on all the questions, but of course, if all of you answer before the 20 seconds, it just automatically goes to end set. But then we'll talk a bit about the anthology more at the end of the live stream, and I have a few announcements about other upcoming C3 events that we'll talk about.
Well, Sydney's here.
Yay, Sydney!
Yay! Gotta be a fox.
Amazing. I love it. #1 C3 fan watching. I love you. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, we lost.
Oh no, did someone
Emily, we
accidentally get
lost
booted
you.
off?
I think we lost. Who did we lose?
I think we lost
Emily?
Emily.
Oh, you lost me.
You lost.
Okay, you're back. You're back. You're back.
Didn't even realize.
All right. I'm watching the timer on my screen. I'm going to give it like 10 seconds and then.
It's going to be really embarrassing if I lose this.
All right. Well, we've got 5 people playing, so I think that is a good amount. We're going to go ahead and get started. And if anyone does join late, they'll just have to answer the questions on their own, even if it's not for points. But let's go ahead, and I'm going to hit the start button. What were the octagon earthworks built by the Hopewell culture used for? And most of you got it correct. It's for religious ceremonies. And that question comes directly from Emily. If you want to learn more about the Hopewell culture and other indigenous cultures, you're going to want to read her comic. And we have Ari in first place for answering the fastest.
The earthworks are really cool.
What is the name of the famous Native American mound in Ohio that is shaped like an animal? For clarification, the photo provided is not in Ohio. That's just a different example. Ooh, yeah. So I tried to trick you guys by offering both Serpent Mound and Snake Mound as answers, but it's the Serpent Mound is the famous one in Ohio. The photo I provided was of bear mounds that are somewhere else in the U.S. I can't remember exactly where. I just need an example, but I obviously couldn't give away what the animal was. Ooh, and Sydney has now eked up to first place with Emily in close second. When ancient peoples first traveled to North America from Asia, did they travel over land, along coastlines, or both? Both. Everyone got that correct. Great job. Sydney is on fire. Good job.
Sydney's quick with the draw.
Yes, he's going to beat all of us.
What is the name of the land bridge that ancient peoples crossed to get to North America? Oh, this one tripped some people up. It's the Bering Land Bridge. It is located in the area that is now the Bering Strait between Alaska and Russia.
Named after a guy who tragically died there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
It's
Guys,
a very intense story. Look it up. It's horribly grisly.
We're learning
bonus
so
fun
much.
facts.
This is
I
so
know.
exciting.
That's what we do trivia for, right?
Yeah, trivia's fun. Whoa!
Emily.
Upseated.
A lot of these questions do come from Emily's comic, though. So, of course, you would be doing well. What type of rock did prehistoric Native Americans of Ohio use most often to make tools? Flint is the correct answer, and most of you got it right. Great job.
I'm sorry.
Emily's still in the lead. I think we're about to switch subjects to a different subject. I kind of grouped them by different subject matter. Oh, we're still on the subject of mounds. It is estimated that how many mounds are in the Ohio River Valley? Yeah,
Wow.
20,000. That's a lot. Isn't that crazy? That is something I learned just from making this game. So that's really cool. And Emily and Sydney still in the lead. All right, now we've got to a different subject. Which of these is not a subspecies of brown bear?
This is from Jeremy's comic, right?
Yep,
Yes.
that's right.
And it's the sloth bear. The rest of these are all subspecies of brown bear, including the Tibetan blue bear, which I thought was really interesting that it was called the blue bear, but it's a brown bear. But yeah, these next few questions have to do with Jeremy's comic that are about bears that you can find in the Columbus Zoo. And I thought this was a really fascinating comic. So these are cool questions. Next, we've got, which of these is the real name of a brown bear at the Columbus Zoo? The answer is Brutus. There are currently 2 brown bears at the Columbus Zoo, and their names are Brutus and Buckeye, which are both very Columbus, Ohio names.
That's what I figured.
I was just there, but I didn't go to the bear exhibit, so
yeah.
Never been to the Columbus Zoo.
You should go. You can get free zoo passes from the library. Fun fact.
Yes, from the Columbus Metropolitan Library. For those of you who are local, get your zoo passes there. Emily is still in the lead. Great job. Which of these species of bear is not found at the Columbus Zoo? Spectacled bears is correct. Good job, everyone. That means you can find black bears, sloth bears, and polar bears. Lots of bears at the zoo.
Never enough bears, though.
I know. Maybe they should have spectacled bears. And Emily is still in the lead and has a streak.
I'm knowledgeable.
Which of these tools can you use at home to
Good for you.
strengthen your forearms? This is related to Leaf's comic about hand strength. The answer is all of the above. Yes. Obviously, handheld weights and resistance bands are the obvious answer, but Leaf in his comic also teaches you an exercise on how you can use a bucket of rice for exercise, which I think is neat. So,
I
like,
love
you
my
can
rice
just
bucket.
use everyday things that you maybe already have at home to help with your hand health, which is very neat.
Mhm.
Awesome. $2 Radio is the name of what kind of business based in Columbus? It's an independent publisher. This one, I kind of made it a trick question. $2 Radio is the name of an independent publisher based in Columbus. But if you've heard of $2 Radio headquarters, that is their bookstore / cafe where they sell $2 Radio books. So
That's a trick.
I know. I'm like, two
Trick
different businesses with very similar names. But yeah, $2 Radio is the name of the publisher. And you know, we love learning about
No,
indie
my
publishers.
streak.
You guys are still
My beautiful
so
streak.
close
Long
point-wise,
live
though.
the king.
Good job, Sydney. All righty. How many rooms make up the book loft in German Village? So if you couldn't tell, this section of the quiz is about like local Columbus businesses. And there's 32 rooms of books. Yes, so many books.
Aren't most of the rooms like really small though?
Some of them are. Some of them are quite large. It's just a giant maze, and you definitely should go
They're
there.
like
if you haven't been.
house-sized rooms, you know, like
Yeah,
bedrooms.
don't size shame
Yeah, I
the
mean, it is
rooms,
basically an
Emily.
old house.
Yeah.
You can buy comics at which of these stores in Columbus? All of the above. Everyone got that correct. Yes. The Book Loft and $2 Radio headquarters are both bookstores that also have graphic novels. And then the Laughing Ogre is specifically a local comic shop. All of them are great stores that I would recommend checking out if you haven't. And Sydney is still in our lead, but Emily is close behind.
I'll get you one day.
All right. Now we've got a nice, just simple true or false. The Ohio History Center is home to a full T-Rex skeleton. The answer is false. They do not have a full T-Rex skeleton.
It'd be cool if they did, though.
It would be cool.
Not many places have them, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to get a full skeleton.
Yeah, I guess it would also be kind of weird since there were not really T-Rexes.
Especially since there aren't a whole lot of T-Rex specimens that have ever been found.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Sydney is still in the lead.
Sydney says they do have a full skeleton. Hold for the animal.
Ohio is part of how many major American flyways, which are paths that birds use when migrating? The answer is 2. Only one of you got that correct. Yeah, this one is more niche, but the next 2 questions have to do with bird migration. Chandu made an excellent comic about bird migration in Ohio for this anthology. It's really fascinating. So we just learned that there are 2 major American flyways that go through Ohio. Our next question is related. So the next question is, how many flyways total are in North America? Let's see if you can guess. The answer is 4. So there are 4 total that go through North America, and 2 of them go through Ohio. So Ohio is kind of a popular place for birds.
I literally have a map of the flyways on my wall. I'm so mad.
Nice.
That's so cool that you own that, though.
It's a National Geographic pullout from like the 80s.
Nice. They should put maps back in National Geographic magazines.
They should put maps in everything.
Well, I agree with
Maps
that.
are cool. All right, let's go on to our next question. This is a true or false. Bird migration is predominantly nocturnal. This is true. This is something new I learned from reading Chandu's comic. Bird migration is predominantly done at night, and because of that, artificial lighting can have a big impact on bird migration. So one of the things you'll learn about if you read the comic, which you totally should, is about some of the efforts people are doing to help like mitigate light pollution so that it doesn't harm birds. Very fascinating stuff. I learned so much preparing for this trivia quiz and reading your guys' comics for the anthology. So very cool. And Sydney is still in the lead. Great job, Sydney. Wood warblers migrate to Ohio from which region every summer? And that photo right there is of a beautiful wood warbler. It is a kind of bird, if you couldn't already guess. From Central America. Most of you guessed that correctly. Great job. Ooh, it's still really close between Sydney and Emily. Really close. Who was Margaret Armstrong? This actually relates to the comic that Sydney made for the anthology, which is about Margaret Armstrong. And she is an illustrator. Most of you got that correct. All right, Emily, you've got your streak. 3 correct answers in a row. All right, now a true or false. You can tell a design is Margaret Armstrong's by her initials MA in the design. And that is true.
I thought that was a trick question.
I know. Sometimes the most obvious answer is the correct one, though, you know? Approximately how many items does the Ohio State Library have in its catalog? The answer is 6 million.
Dang.
Quite a lot of things. All right, we are nearing the end. 2 questions left, I believe. At the Ohio State Library, what does RVML stand for? It is the Rare Books and Manuscripts Library. Yes. Ooh, and Sydney is in the lead, but Emily is still so close behind and has the highest answer streak of 6. That's really good.
So close.
And we've only got one last
grasp.
question. Let's see if you can get it. Should you support C3's crowdfunder for Hidden Histories?
This one's really hard.
Okay. All of the answers were correct, obviously. But I love that most of you put yes, but in green. I was really curious to see which one people went for. But of course, yes, definitely, absolutely. We would love for you to support C3's crowdfunder for Hidden Histories. And even if you can't financially support it at this time, even if you just share it with your friends and family, share it around, let people know that this anthology exists. We would appreciate the support so much. hopefully you've learned a lot from this trivia game. And if you want to learn more fun facts, all of these subjects that these questions came from are things that are in the anthology. So definitely read more. But now let's finally find out who made it onto the podium. In third place, Eri. Second place, Emily. First place, I think we know who it's going to be. Sydney.
I mean, considering Sydney read all of these and collated everything and made it look very pretty, like it totally makes sense that Sydney would.
I was like, yeah, I'm like, it's a little bit of a. Sydney was familiar with all of the comics because of being the leader of C3. And helped me come up with some of these questions.
And also, we appreciate Sydney so much. No begrudging on your win.
Absolutely,
yeah, no, that's totally okay. we do love Sydney and appreciate her so much. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen.
Sorry, she said no, I'll begrudging on my win.
All right. Well, thank you to everybody who watched and joined. I hope you had a lot of fun. So I'm just catching up on the comments since while the actual game was in play, I couldn't keep an eye on the comics. I had to be looking at the questions. But yes, thank you to everyone who watched and joined. This was such a fun game. So as I said, if you want to learn more, please check out our crowdfunder page. I am going to share it with you now on the screen. So it is called Columbus Cartoon Coalition's Hidden Histories. It is on crowdfunder.com. We've got a lot of great people who contributed to this anthology. We are still raising money, so any support you can give would be really great. And we actually just added some new rewards that you can possibly get to this. So you can, of course, buy the anthology itself, but we've also got stickers. We've got signed copies. We've got these new trading cards designed by Eri, who is on the stream right now. Very cool.
And there will be 2 more designs too, so stay tuned.
Amazing. And then something I'm really excited about are these cool Ohio City postcards that were designed by Chandu. They look really awesome. We've got Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland. So if you've visited or live in any of those cities in Ohio, definitely check these out. And the artwork is just beautiful. I really like them. I'm very excited to get these. So yes, I posted that sync in the comments earlier, so please find the link there. Before we sign off, I do have a few more announcements because along with the crowdfunder, we've got some events we'll be doing to help promote it. So we'll actually be doing a signing at the Laughing Ogre, one of the local comic shops that actually came up during the trivia game. So on Saturday, December 6th from 1 to 4 p.m., come find us at the Laughing Ogre in Columbus, Ohio. Well, you'll be able to meet many of the artists working on their anthology and get it signed. And then we are also planning a drawing live stream. I'm trying to confirm the date for that. It looks like we'll be doing that December 5th at 7 p.m. So it is actually the day before that signing, December 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be doing another live stream drawing challenge where some of us will be drawing each other's characters from the anthology. It'll be a fun little challenge. And of course, you at home, if you're an artist yourself, can draw along with us. Another event we have coming up is the C3 Book Club. Let me pull up the information for the C3 Book Club. So if you haven't, if you weren't aware, the Columbus Cartoon Coalition also has a graphic novel book club that meets on Discord. So our Discord information is now up on the screen. And our next meeting is actually this Tuesday. Nope, not Tuesday as in tomorrow. The Tuesday after. Hold on. I should have pulled up my calendar beforehand. It is
the
on
25th.
Tuesday, November 25th at 7 p.m. We'll be discussing Superman Smashes the Klan by Jean Lewin Yang and Gurihiru. So please feel free to join us for that. And if it's even if it's a little too late for you to finish reading that whole book, still feel free to join the Discord. And you can always join us for our read next month, which actually next month we'll be reading the Arkham Asylum comic by Grant Morrison and Dave McKean. So that's super cool. And of course, you can join our regular Discord if you are a fellow comic creator, even if you're not necessarily from Columbus. Feel free to join us on that Discord to connect with other creators. Yes, it's true. You don't have to be from Columbus. We're not big gatekeepers here. Anyone is welcome.
Even if they're from Michigan.
And that's really all of my official C3 announcement. So I just want to thank everybody who is here once again, and allow everyone to say goodbye. Once again, my name is AJ. You can find me at AJ Easterday on all of my socials if you want to hear more from me. I am the live stream coordinator for the Columbus Cartoon Coalition, so you'll see me on a lot of the upcoming live streams. And once again, we got Leaf.
Thank you guys for joining us and being here. I definitely learned a lot during this trivia, and you'll learn even more if you buy the anthology.
Yes. And once again, we've got Ari.
Thanks for coming. I hope you guys will support the anthology.
And Emily.
Thank you, Sydney. You were a worthy opponent.
And that is a great note to end on. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Hope to see you next time.